Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar and this is Pinstar Plays Endless Legend 2. So yes, Endless Legend, we did a couple of videos on this earlier when the demo was out. Well, it is releasing in early access, actually at the time that this video goes live. So if you guys want to dive in, you can go check out the Steam page. But I figured let's go through a trek through it here now that the game is a little bit more fleshed out. Yeah, let's dive in. We're going to do a new game here. Now, there are at the beginning, there are 6 major factions planned. The 6th one is not ready for showtime, but they said that it will be available by the time we leave early access. And I'm sure there will be more factions that come in via DLC later on. But for now, we have 5 major factions. And I'm going to be going with the Last Lords. Back in Endless Legend 1, one of my favorite factions were the Broken Lords, and this is basically the spiritual successor to them. Actually, I think it is literally them, just on a different planet here. The whole idea of them is that they as a people kind of died a long time ago. They exist as basically dust-powered souls inside suits of armor. So they can kind of reanimate themselves, but they need a lot of dust. Dust, by the way, is basically the main currency of this world. It is not like an industrial byproduct. Think of it almost kind of like spice, like from Dune. Although I mean, it has its own things. It's not literally spice from Dune, but yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into a random game here. It's going to be us against, you know what? I think we're going to do one of all the other ones. So we will do, not another less, the husks. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to go against 4 other AI opponents, the other factions not yet in the world. There's also a ton of minor factions that spawn throughout the game, and that's a hallmark of the Endless Legend world. And as we can see, Last Lords is an economic focused faction. Give you a little clue as to why I kind of like them. We are going to do default starter type, map archetype. The world is randomly generated each play. We'll do continents. That seems pretty good. Large is yeah, 6 recommend for 6 players. We're gonna be 5 players on this one, but you know what? Hey, what's a little extra wiggle room? Can't alter the game speed at the moment, but the difficulty, we're gonna start on Explore. This is the neutral one. The AI gets no bonuses, no penalties, and all of the AI's tactical brain sectors are active. So it's as smart as it is programmed to be, but they get no material bonuses or penalties, which is how I like it. Like, I get it that a really good player is always going to thrash an AI, but having the AI compensating for that just by stacking the AI with lots of unfair bonuses just doesn't sit well. It kind of warps the play style. One has to adapt to counter that. Besides, I'm just getting into this game, so I'm actually not that skilled with it. This is not a strategy and tactics, so let's dive in, shall we?
Steward Leofric says we slumbered during that long dark night among the stars. I have no memory of time passing, only of the sense of purpose and the burden. The Lords remain prisoners of the armor that binds us and the dust that sustains us. Our mortality a long-forgotten dream, for we must consume, or else we die. Though we struggled against this dark fate, we still still carry our old curse to a new home. But perhaps here we will finally rise above it. One day we will be lords of the Amber Plains again. With our fate in our own hands and our honor redeemed, whatever the price.
So one other thing that I like about the Broken Lords, or in this game, the Last Lords, is that, yeah, they could have gone with like a kind of a vampire, undead, necromancer motif, but one of the big hallmarks of them is that they are extremely noble and chivalrous. So they're not just a, death to the living, grow the undead horde. You can talk with them. You can negotiate with them. They are a noble people. Okay, so here's our random thing. I've turned on tile yields. Now, one other hallmark of the Broken Lords, and this is also a holdover from the last game, is so there are a couple of different resources. There's dust, represented by the little yellow circle. There's industry, the red gears. I don't think we see any on here, but there's science, which is like a blue little squiggly. There's green food, like a little reed, and I think influence and happiness. There's a few different resources here. Broken Lords don't do food at all. Like, they can't harvest it, they don't eat it, they don't need it, they have no use for it. So in lands that would normally produce lots of food, the food doesn't even show up on the tile yield icons because the Broken Lords literally don't care about them. But we do care about dust. Dust is kind of our food, but it's also our economy. So having a dust-rich homeland is really important, which it looks like our starting territory here does look dust-rich. We do need industry to build stuff. So having these industrial tiles here looks good. I might found our city here. This will give us all of this industry to start with, plus a healthy amount of dust tiles, plus room to grow. We have some minor factions. So minor factions are initially potentially hostile, but you can do a quest for them. And if you complete their quest, they become pacified, and you can start to incorporate them into your lands. The other thing is there is no settler unit. Your armies are the ones that actually build your camps and your cities here. But it does cost influence. So I think we're going to take one of our armies here, bring you up here, and we're going to found our capital right here. So technically we should want to explore, but I don't see anything within here. One other nifty thing is this whole prepared settlement bonus. If you have to spend a couple of turns to walk your initial armies around to find a good city spot, because maybe you didn't spawn into a good spot, the game compensates you for the turns lost where you haven't founded your capital yet with a big temporary boost to production. So you're not immediately screwed compared to somebody who got lucky and got a great capital spot. That being said, I'm not going to delay my capital just because to try to farm up that bonus. If we have a good spot, we might as well do it. And this will tell us exactly what kind of resources we're getting into. All right, here is our capital. Now, there's a couple of different ways, and I'm going to contrast this with civilization. There's a couple of different ways this differs from civilization. So we own these particular tiles in terms of we are extracting the benefits from them. That's why I wanted to sort of settle in a place that was it was important based on, we wanted high yields, and we also wanted production because production helps us build stuff. So we have we have these. Now, one other hallmark of the Broken Lords is that their population does not naturally grow. You have to buy units of population with dust. We only have 50 dust right now, but we are harvesting quite a bit of dust, 31 per turn. We got 12 industry per turn, 5 science, and 8 influence. We also have certain citizens. We have 1 citizen. Now these are the workers. They don't work individual tiles the way they do in Civ. All tiles that are under your control get worked, but these add additional these add additional bonuses based on what type of citizen they are, and you can move them around. So you can either have a citizen, which gives us extra dust. We can have an artisan, which gives us a little bit of extra dust and a lot of bit extra production, or we get some extra science and that. We're gonna go for production here. Now let's see what districts we have available to us. So districts are the improvements that you can build. You don't need to build worker units like you do in Civ to make improvements. You just build them on the tiles that you directly control. If you click on a tile, now these are all locked based on text. So we're going to do communal habitations, which raises our pop cap. We don't need that yet. We could do a merchant's house. That would be pretty good. And how much extra bonus you get from a particular district is going to be determined by the nature of the tile itself. So for example, this merchant's house is +6 dust just for building the house. If you build it on a tile that already naturally produces dust, it gets +2 dust. And then if it has adjacent to communal habitations, it'll get even more. So this would be a good one because it does already produce the dust. So, and we do want ourselves some dust. So it also levels up when it is more surrounded by others. Actually, maybe I want it down here because there's other adjacency bonuses to be considered. I'll start it off down here for the time being. So, I mean, 6 1/2 dozen of the other. The other thing you can do is build units, but we start off with some units, and I don't think we're going to be in combat right away. All right, so I want to get these goody huts here, these little glowy things. But I also want to talk to the minor faction villages in our thing to get our quest, because we want to pacify them as quickly as possible. For 2 reasons. 1, we can get additional economic benefits by pacifying them, and 2, some minor factions will spawn random hostile armies from time to time and harass you and attack you if they have not been pacified. So let's talk with them and see what they want. Don't speak with outsiders, especially if you don't know them, and with every second wasted on foolish talk, scrolls decay even further. Us lords may be outsiders now, but we would earn your trust. What are these scrolls? Those are keep our guard for good reason. I am chiefess, but also memory keeper. I hold our past, teach it with the scrolls. Where's your history kept? And you say they are decaying. Maybe we can help. I mean, the Broken Lords are kind of good at preserving things. Tribe must not know the triumphs, our sorrows, dark days of our imprisonment we all overcame cannot be forgotten. This past will not fade. Our life drawing on the world around us. Odd as it may be, I think there might be preserved by returning to the places whose stories they tell. I wish to know if I am right. Take this scroll where its memories speak the loudest, then you will have my respect. Such delicate things. We will keep your past safe. So, we need to search Boar's Retreat. We'll get influence. We will get a temporary buff, and it will pacify all the villages if we complete the quest. Now, do we know where Boar's Retreat is? It is way the heck over there. All right, well, we have a bit of an expedition to do, but that's okay. All right, I don't see any other... So we do want to grab the goodie bags here. I want to grab you here. That'll be next turn. What did we get here? Curiosity collected. Provisions curiosity. So this is just a random trooper. He's probably not going to be very strong. I'll probably merge him back into the main army. And then we got to send our main army off to do our first quest. Because again, we want to pacify these. And we can explore, pick up goodie huts along the way. Because we do want to start considering places to potentially expand to, too. Oh yeah, so now we have tech. We start the game with 2 techs researched, which 2 depends on which faction you are. So we have scavenging research, which gives us more gains on the battle spoils, but it also increases the health and damage of non-hero units, which is nice. We also get the currency. This is why we can build that Merchant's House district. Now, I do want to sort of kickstart our science, and I see a really good tile in our capital to start building a science building. So yeah, we want a scientific charter to unlock the laboratory. So that will take 6 turns. That way we can get the rest of the techs a little bit faster. Also, you can see on here, and I'll scroll out here. So having built a city in this district, this region, we now also formally own the whole region here. Everything that's in our color right now, that is our territory, even if we're not currently covering it. So we don't need to worry about like another civ coming in and plopping a city like right here, because that's our territory. I mean, we couldn't even plop a city down here. You can only have 1 city per territory, but you can expand the city over time so that it covers more and more tiles within the territory. You can also merge territories into like a mega territory. All right, I think we're good. So let's end our turn. I like the little animation showing like, okay, we've begun construction of this here in this area. All right, actually, let's start with you guys. All right, we got some resources here. These are like rare material resources. Probably, I don't think I can make use of them right now. Ooh, this is a really good industry area. For a potential city. And then that Boar's Retreat is up here, so we do want to be heading northeast here. Yeah, let's go. I mean, we will merge them. Ooh. So yeah, these little tiles with resources on them, these are known as anomalies. You can't build on them, but you can claim them and reap the benefits from them. And an anomaly that gives like lots of dust is, well, especially good for us. So this region up here, you can see this dotted line. This is a region here. This is a region here. The game arbitrarily, designates the regional borders between different zones, and they can be kind of weirdly shaped sometime. You can dissolve the borders by basically building a camp and merging 2 into the same region. But for all intensive purposes, you can only do 1 city or 1 settlement per region. And we couldn't, for example, just grab this tile with this without first claiming and merging into this region with our capital city here. Ooh, I just noticed that over here. We should probably, when we get enough money, I might just quick buy a unit, another just cheap military unit in our city, because you can rush buy things. But for now, yeah, we want the Merchant's House because we want the money. And then we can see up here our influence. Influence allows us to expand our cities and also expand by new districts. Also found new cities and whatnot. And then obviously our dust income. Our armies do have an upkeep, so the more of them you make. Ooh, science boost. Nice. So yeah, look at this region right here. It looks like it is completely barren of any useful resources, save for like little traces of industry in the forest here. This region is probably more littered with big fat food bonuses, which is completely useless to us. So unless we, are going to just grab this area down here, this region's probably not high on our list of things that we want to grab. This one, on the other hand, looking pretty sweet. We also have, another anomaly here. These boars. Boars. This is probably a food anomaly because it's not giving us anything, and they're probably a big fat like +6 food, but that's useless to us. So it's interesting that the priorities of the Broken Lords are very different than that of the what are you? Oh, you're oh my goodness. So yeah, this is these regions up here are looking pretty sweet. Like I might depending on what my influence is looking like, see if I can set, I want to see what this, because this right here is a really good region. Like a really good region. I wish this ridge wasn't here, because like settling a tile right here would grab all of these and be really productive. So I'm pondering what to do with this little region, because so one of the reasons why I'm staring at this so much. First off, the region, like the latter half of the region, doesn't look like there's anything. Like this looks like it's all food, which we don't really care about. But down here, this is beautiful. I mean, there's dust, and dust is good, but there's also the potential for a metric F-ton of production. This could be a very production-centered city. This could be our military factory type unit producer. And the other thing is we could attach it to this region right here. So I might throw down a camp, which is sort of the first step to expanding your influence. So yeah, we do want our main army to make their way through here. This is probably going to be a little expensive in terms of movement points, but we want them to meet up over here. Oh yeah, that very quickly got us our research. So now let's see what else we could do here. Stonework would give us fortifications. We don't really need that in the early game. Civil order. This gives us a tool to improve approval ratings. That's basically your city happiness. We are going to need that. The forum district gives us more influence, but that's not super critical yet. I think we're going to go with manufacturing, the workshop here, because we're getting into workshop-y type deals here pretty soon. The other thing we could do here, this one's going to be really good. The Lord's Estate is, once you pacify villages, you can build an improvement on them, which is called the Lord's Estate, which gives you dust income, like a healthy dust income, but this adds 5 science to that too. So having extra villages in your territories is really good. But yeah, let's start with the workshop. And then what I will do here, I do want to finish building our merchant's house, but I want to queue up a science district here, a laboratory. Now the laboratory has some interesting synergies. So it gives you +2 science just by itself. If it is on a tile that produces 2 different types of yields, which this does, this has a little bit of production, a little bit of dust, it gets a bonus, and then plus 2 more signs for each adjacent anomaly. This is an anomaly, and it is adjacent. And then plus 1 for communal habitat. So this is going to give us a plus 5 science. This is like the perfect science laboratory district right here. I mean, we could get another one over here, which is going to give us the plus 2 adjacency for the anomaly, which is why I decided to build the merchant house down here so that we had that option. It's not gonna get the 2 resource bonus. And then over here we could build one. It would get the 2 resource bonus, but it's not adjacent to the anomaly anymore. So yeah, we can consider that. But at the very least, this is the best tile for science, and that can help get our science kick started. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw down a camp here. This might seem like a really awkward spot. Well, actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to move you guys up here because I want to do a little more scouting. Yeah, all the rest of this up here is complete garbage, but this region is going to be useful to us for this area alone. So we're probably just going to attach it to this city because, I mean, we can eventually merge the two. I am going to found a camp. So yeah, this one gives us plus 2, plus 9. It might seem like this one's better, but I actually want this tile to be open for a district, which we can expand downwards to. One, I want to have instant access to this anomaly, and you need that within range. But 2, you know, the way that the workshop districts work is that they get bonuses. 1 for having production on the tile itself, which this does, but you also get bonuses for every ridge it's adjacent to. So this would be a humongously productive tile, and like all of these would be good workshop tiles. So this sort of gives us the best of both worlds. So we're going to build a camp here. Even though, like I said, the rest of this territory is complete garbage, for us, this area is so good that it's worth annexing just for this part. And we have a quest, Fragile Dawn. I'm not going to read out all of these. No rest for the wicked. All right, so we need to search the Lord's Archive, and that will give us a temporary happiness bonus. So now we have 2 quests. Lord's Archive is also in the same direction, so 2 birds, 1 stone works for me. All right, we've got our camp here. So our camp here is generating. Should be sending some stuff here. Now, one of the things that we can do here is we can attach it to a city once we accumulate 100 influence. So that will allow us to merge this section in with our capital region, which again, does not need to be its own city. This is just going to be an offshoot of the capital, which is fine. So we will merge our armies here. So in case we run into any hostiles, let's start with Boar's Retreat. Yeah, they're like right next to each other. So this is really fortuitous for us. We could go up and get this, this curiosity. Might as well, it's our territory. Oh, actually this territory is not as awful as it looks. on the back half over here. So I'm still more interested in this area. But we might as well get the spoils, because other people can walk onto these territories and grab them. All right, that's another neutral faction. We might as well talk to them, get their quest. But then there's Boar's Retreat. We could also grab this goody hut. Oh, this minor faction is peaceful. So this minor faction will not attack us unless we go out of our way to attack them, which I have no desire to attack them. But we can still, you still need to pacify them if you want to sort of incorporate them, and we may or may not want to grab this region, but there's no harm in doing it, and besides, you can get some potential rewards from that anyway. All right, looks like our trader's house is done, so now that's plus 10 dust. And it spills over a little bit of production there. Also, yeah, we can get another point of population in here. Let's do that. And assign them to the artisans so they can produce even more production, so we can get these buildings built even quicker. We only have 2 slots for artisans, but we might as well use them. That's the nice thing, because like you can't just click food to insta-grow people as other factions, so that's like one of the main draws for this. And if you have a lot of money, you can get your population up quite quickly. All right, I will, yeah, yeah, I guess we can go through here, grab the goody hut. Just some raw materials or rare materials. Let's talk with you guys. Who's this champion leading your troops? No, don't tell me. I'm certain we have a verse or two. You come... Alright, so it sounds like these are like bards. How boringly practical. Yeah. Lyric Lament, Radical, have my own date. Let us investigate for you. Once the matter is settled, we can discuss sharing lands. So we need to bring 200. So we have to pay them 200 influence to pacify them. Health regeneration, actually, it does not help us. Our units do not regenerate at all. You have to pay dust to heal them. So this is not a high priority quest. Oop, actually, spawns a unit Harper. Now that's useful. All right, we can get there next turn. Yeah, so they spawn units, but they're not instantly hostile to us. I'm trying to pacify our locals before they spawn a unit, because I don't think they're peaceful. Past is always present. Daughters know it, and our scrolls know it too. The rod has fallen away from this one, and it'll soon restore the others. All right, we just needed to. It was just oh, and we get 200, so we could just instantly pacify the others. I don't know if we actually want to do that, because I would actually rather incorporate this first, and then once we get a little bit more influence built back up, then we can do that. And yeah, at the beginning of the game, you can only have, each city can only contain 2 territories. There are techs later on that let you absorb more and have like a mega thing. And one of the factions I think is like they only get one city, but they can absorb unlimited number of territories into it. But yeah, let's attach you to a city. So now this whole territory is now all one big blob, and it is ours. So the Ashgun and Murad territories are ours. And now these are all, this is all another sort of, it turns it into a ministry. So we get some goodies here just by this being area. We get these as potential districts, and then we can build district things, like we can use influence to claim more territory. And then these two are all now the same city here. So our productions over here will be added to our capital, which I think we will do once we discover our workshop, because that's going to be important. Which actually is going to come right, like as soon as we finish our lab here, we can spend a little influence, grab that super sweet workshop tile right here, and go to town there. I mean, we could also build a workshop here, and this would be pretty good, but wouldn't be nearly as good as this one. And we could do multiple workshops, but I want to get the best bonuses online ASAP. Now, we can build more camps, but that also costs us influence. So, yeah, a lot of things demand influence that involve, adding to cities, expanding them, all that stuff. There's one other thing that we can do. Not diplomacy. We haven't met other people yet. Oh yeah, our hero. So our heroes can be kitted out with different traits, different equipment. They level up. They have a skill tree. We haven't leveled them up yet, and we haven't acquired any new equipment. They just have some basic starter equipment. But once we get some new goodies with them, we can go for that. Quest journal, cities and camps. So one other thing that we can do is, now that we've pacified one of the minor factions, we can officially assimilate them, though it does cost us 150 influence. But different factions give us different things. They give us some passive bonuses. In this case, different higher defenses, which actually is not too bad. There are 2 pacified villages that we would get. So the villages, the minor villages, can exist in multiple territories. It's not just confined to the one. Scavenger tactics. So the citizens themselves have an actual different benefit on them, a different boost, and they give us a unique unit that we can now start building if we fully incorporate them. In this case, the Huntress ability, which gives us okay. So when this unit is wounded, it gets berserker, which is, makes it more dangerous. So I don't necessarily know if I want to assimilate them because of the influence cost. There's a lot of other things that we want to spend our influence on. And they're more military. I mean, they're still pacified. We can still do stuff on that front. So I do kind of want to do some more exploring. Specifically around our capital. Oh wait, there was one other thing. Search the Lord's Archive. It's literally right there. All right, and so we get 10 turns of plus 10 approval on our capital. Ready to resurrect our first lord. So yeah, the resurrection process is not 100% right now. Research the feudalism technology. And we get a new unit. Well, we've been wanting a new unit. So yeah, we know what we're gonna grab right after we finish workshops. That way we don't have to build or buy a whole new unit. All right. Oh yeah, these rivers, you can't just easily cross them. You have to build bridges or dams over them. Oh, our hero went up a level. Nice. Okay, let's level up our hero. So the heroes have 4 different stats: might, resilience, determination, and intuition. And their different skills have the different skills. You can use their level ups to just flat out increase their different stats of your desires, but you can also unlock new powers and perks. Now the powers and perks that you can unlock have an effect that can be boosted by their various stats. So we want ones that are boosted by determination. This death blow one here ignores defense if they're damaged, deals 40 damage, deals extra damage per determination, and if the target unit is eliminated, the hero gets another turn, which is huge. That's really, really good. So I think I'm going to go for that. All right, now for you guys, yeah, I don't want to go crazy getting around this one major river. I think what we're going to do is probably scout around the perimeter of our northern territory here, just to see if there's any other territories that are worth sort of keeping an eye on. Yeah, unfortunately, because of this river, we can't just directly walk across it. So we're going to go down and around. All right, we got workshops. Feudalism. There's our feudalism. And we get extra dust per citizens with that. Oh, with a soul repository. 1 primordial last lord and extra approval once per territory. So we could build 2 of them in our capital since it's got 2 territories on it. And then I think what we'll do is we'll get Sahidian Inquisition. The other way that you work up tech eras is that you need a certain number of techs in an earlier era before you can move on to the next one and do any of those. So we need 4 more techs in era 1 before we can research any techs in era 2. All right, so yeah, we want you to finish that up. So one thing we can do is foundations. So foundations. Oh, so we have to build here before we can extend our foundations further down. Got it. All right, fine. In that case, we will start with a district and we will do a workshop here. Because, I mean, this is still pretty good. So it's +2 for the district itself, +1 because it's a tile that's already making industry, and then +1 industry for 1 additional ridge, which is fine by me. And then that should allow us to extend our foundations further down so that we can get this really sweet industry tile. And we'll be getting this nice, sweet laboratory tile up. We could also build another citizen if we really wanted to. We're getting +5 more science from all this. Yeah, we're not quite there yet in terms of our influence. I mean, I might just pay them off for the influence. And I mean, this is not an awful territory. I mean, the +7 dust is really freaking good. There's enough one-off bonuses here that it's something, you know, it can be useful. Although not actually for scientific labs because they want multi-territories, so yeah, we can figure something out here. If anything, we could just build a camp here. Camp's 120. Do we want a camp? So yeah, see, there's this up here. Oh wait, I walked right past that. So what if we built a camp up here? This river, I mean, we could build we could build bridges. This is still kind of cramped area. Blaze grapes, yeah, it's a happiness anomaly. But this is probably a little bit more worthwhile. What I'm going to do, I'm going to splinter you off. Oh. All right, fine. And then, yeah, you guys I want up here. Can't believe I forgot to grab that. I mean, an extra scouting unit's nothing to sneeze at. And then I could probably run these guys down here, plop down a camp. If anything, that'll give us the +7. Although I might want to pacify these guys first, because getting that extra unit would be quite useful. Ooh, extra influence. Well, handy that. We could also... Cannot be done as a quest in... No, we're not bribing them. Oh, it's a completely separate area. Fair enough. You know what? I think what we'll do, since we want to go here, and I mean, we want to explore here anyway. Well, yeah, let's continue. Hopefully our singleton unit doesn't get sniped. See, here's a nice area too. I don't want to be grabbing territories willy-nilly unnecessarily. Yeah, you guys just make your way down there. All right, we're 2-2 here. Now, doing additional citizens. yeah, citizens generate food yields while generating dust. So we don't obviously get the food yields. We just get the dust yields from them. Scribes might be good for us. Let's get a scribe. Because we want the extra influence, and I mean the extra science is not going to be a bad thing either. The other thing we want to do is, yeah, build these lords' estates on our minor factions. They will give us +4 dust, and then after we get that other technology, will give us +5 science each. So they're their own labs, plus dust generators, all in one very, very efficient package. Although what I think I might do is I might buy this thing and get another workshop just to get our production up nice and high, and that'll allow us to build other stuff, but also start maybe weaving in some units here and there. We haven't seen any major threats yet, but there will be. There will be. And yeah, this +2 science right here is pretty good. Yeah, this area is... goody hut, good. Yeah, I don't want to splinter my army too much. But like right here, I mean, this is kind of a foodie area. We would probably settle right here. That would give us access to the +2, the +7, the science, and then we could build some other things. Again, these are very kind of food-centered areas, which are not the greatest for us. We really do want dust-centered areas, kind of like this. Like the northern territory of this place is actually really freaking good. Not quite as good as down here, just because of the for the potential of the production. I do not regret my secondary city area location, but still, good to know. And yeah, like I said, this is kind of the same thing. So, you know, not great yields, but we have a nice little crabs here. I have a feeling those crabs only appear in areas that are of that nature. So let's, do I run grab that? I think I might run grab that. It'll give us a little extra exploration. And yeah, these guys are heading down here. Ooh, even more goodies, and also more grasslands, which means more useless to us. Yeah, we definitely want the desert tiles here. Oop. Gallardi is reborn. Yeah. All right, well, we get a new consul's guard, and it spawns right there. Yeah, resurrection ain't an exact science. They made a copy of him. So we can either pacify villages by any means, or build 2 soul repositories. I would like to do the pacify villages route, especially since we're I mean, plus 400 influence is huge for us. So we want to look for villages to pacify, and we're about to pacify one. All right, pacify villages by any means. Ooh, and Ocklings? Well, I mean, let's talk to them. Here's hoping that they're not hostile. Is hostile, yeah, they will attack you on sight. Okay. That could be bad for these guys. We have this, this guard unit. We could send you off to do more exploring. But I would prefer that you actually come back here. I want you to eventually reconvene with these guys. Your troops pick their way through the forest, come upon a glade full of freshly cut trees, and a dead Blackhammer warriors has disappeared. Use action, remove forest on Daimene with one of your armies. Huh. I think we have that ability. And yeah, this is the... I don't actually want this army to be occupied doing that. Actually, dying? Oh, these guys have 1 hit points because of the flood. So yeah, you're gonna cut down trees. Yeah, you guys can start. Of course, this is going to kind of screw with our yields here, but I guess we're not necessarily going to populate this one. Aha. Okay, so now I think we can do our foundation expansion. So 65, which actually, yeah, that's not too bad. So now we expand the foundation, and now we can build a district, and we can build another workshop here, and this is going to give us +6. 2 plus 1 for that, plus 3 ridges. And then we'll queue up 2 lords' estates. And then we will queue up this Inquisition to make those lords' estates much better. Alright, so I think what we'll do here is we'll parlay. Hopefully you don't just raffle stomp me. Well, you have an army here, but we'll see. You have lots of dust, whole houses of it, such riches. Talk, we must talk. Well, we do have dust. We have a dust calling. Go a little crazy. Very crazy. We must get dust. Get dust. Like spiral crabs. Have at least 75 dust income in one of your cities for 5 turns. Ooh. Gives us a technology, dustonomics. Nice. Okay, yeah, we just need to get our base dust income higher, which is actually gonna, that will start to happen with when we start getting our Lord's Manors, because that's +4 dust income each, and then we can just throw down another trading house and be done with it. I am going to try to sneak in here. This actually is a really good territory for us, so this might be a good one. Although again, I'm going to want to pacify these guys before we go any further. I'm going to move these guys back one just so that their army doesn't come say hi, because I have a feeling we're not... this is just a lone rando unit. I do want to turn in this quest real quick. Ah! Let's retreat. Yeah, we would lose badly. I don't think this is I don't think manual battling is going to help us out here. We're just going to get the heck out of there. Oh, why did you run there? Yeah, you have no movement. I mean, we might as well split, divide, and conquer these guys. I'm just trying to turn in my quest, man, and maybe get this. Yeah. These guys are not long for this world. Yeah, they're goners. We're gonna need to approach here with a proper army. But at least we got the quest. And we don't have to turn in the other one right away. We could also incorporate the Daughters of Bor officially, but I kind of want to keep the influence in our bank here. All right, you guys have cut down a forest. Yeah, we don't actually need to cut down another forest with these guys. We can just merge in. Might as well merge them in too. All right, so in our next episode, we are going to see if we can't get our income up, pacify these guys, and then we'll probably come and pacify the other guys as well. And actually that should hit our quest, because these are 3 villages that will all be pacified by our series of events, and that should give us actually 400 influence back as a reward. So it's an investment that makes a pretty healthy return. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstar signing out. See ya.